So I have on order a chain ring like this, a cheap one from China. They nearly always come with this sort of black anodizing on it. And I saw on another video that you can remove it using degreaser cleaner. But on the video it had something that you can only get in the USA. So this one you can get in Australia at Bunnings. I can't remember how much it is, but it's like 5 litres for $15, $17 or something, Australian dollars. So what I'm going to do is put this in here and then pour this in, and then apparently the anodizing will be lifted off the aluminium. So let's see what happens. So I've just put the degreaser in this container, just covered the chain ring. You can see already it's starting to bubble on the edges and stuff. Apparently that is making the anodizing come off. So I'm going to leave it 10 minutes or so and then come back and have a look. Right, so that's been 10 minutes. You can sort of see it getting a little lighter. And of course the edges are still bubbling. You can sort of see it a little lighter on the anodized part. So I'll leave it a bit longer, maybe an hour, and see what happens. Right, so that's been about an hour. Let's have a look. See if I can get this lid off one-handed. Whoop, yep. So something's happening in there. That's for sure. Let's get a little stick. Give it a shake. Yes, we can see here that, yeah, I'll let that settle down. You can see, maybe I'll lift it up. It's definitely working. That anodizing is coming off. I scrape it. Give it a rinse. Definitely working. Now, this is put in undiluted, by the way. You can see the water's getting dark, getting some crap in it. Lots of bubbling. If you leave it in too long, I'm almost certain it will damage the aluminium. So what I'm going to do is get it out with some gloves and give it a little rub with something abrasive and see what it looks like. I'll be back. Right, so now it's been rinsed with some water, and I didn't touch the chemical with my hands. I used some gloves like this. I mean, maybe it's a bit paranoid, but better. I don't want whatever that stuff will do to me. This side is what was on top. This is the underneath, which has had even more taken off. So I'm just going to give it a bit of a rub with something and see how I can get it to come up. I'll start with something like this, and then maybe use some sort of some pads like this, and we'll see what it's like, what happens. Okay, so I used the scourer on it. Turned out okay. It needs more work, of course. I might try the steel wool now, see how it goes. Now this was, by the way, this was just, you know, I can't do it one-handed, but just doing that around it quite lightly, so it's working out fine. Okay, time to bring out the big guns. We use my Dremel with this sort of scourer bit on the end. I'm going to give it a quick go and see how it looks. Rightio, I used the Dremel bit, something like that, gave it a quick clean. You can see it's got pitting from the anodizing, I believe. I could spend more time getting it, you know, smoother, I guess. So I will. I have a buffing bit. This is one I've used before, obviously. They come in different, I have a packet full here. One moment, it's going to look weird. They come in different styles, but I'll use this old one. And I also use a little bit of Autosol which is a good polish, metal polish. Obviously I use it a lot. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so I polished it a bit here. You can see it's a bit more shiny than the other parts. If I spent more time on it, you can get it quite shiny. I think maybe it needed a little more time in the degreaser, but it definitely has helped remove the anodizing. I'm not sure if putting it in longer would make it better or worse, because it may start damaging the aluminium. So, but it works. And the product again was Mechanics degreaser from Bunnings. So in conclusion, it does work. The degreaser does take off the anodizing. When you remove the anodizing, you are removing protection from oxidization, which does happen with aluminium. It's not as bad as steel, obviously, but it does happen. So you could put a top coat on it or whatever. I found if you polish it up, the polish usually leaves a protective coating on it. I do have a product that works pretty well with metal, this one, which I got from Super Cheap. I put this on my tools and things, and it goes on metal quite well. So this could be put on the top to give it a bit of protection as well. Of course, this will scrape off or wear off if you're using it, but this is actually a pretty good product for metal. So yeah, give it a go if you want. I wouldn't do it on anything too important, maybe. But yeah, it's possible to remove anodizing from something like this with degreaser.